What is up everyone, Jay here with another Friendly Heroes video, and today we're going to take a look at the next main series banner and rearm units. And this banner is for Fire Emblem 6, the Binding Blade. So it's been a while, I don't even remember the last Binding Blade banner, but here they are. And the first unit is Elffin, the infamous bard from FE6, a pretty well beloved character I'd say. He's not the most popular character ever obviously, but people did want him in the game, so he's finally here. And he comes with a PRF weapon, and he is a colorless tome infantry unit, which is cool. So Light of Etruria is his weapon. Res plus 3 at the start of player phase or enemy phase, grants speed res plus 6 and hexblade to unit and allies within 2 spaces of unit for 1 turn. And also if any foes within 3 rows recall centered on unit have less res than units res plus 5, you inflict attack speed -7, guard, and exposure on those foes through their next action. So that's really good support, because obviously, I mean, hexblade is not as useful as it used to be, I suppose, because there's a lot of min-maxed tanks, but still it can be helpful when you're not facing a min-max tank with, you know, balanced defenses. And this can also help for creation pulse, because you're inflicting all these negative statuses on people. Guard and exposure can be useful for sure for that extra damage, and the attack speed debuff is always nice, so that is cool. And then if foe initiates combat, inflicts penalty on foes attack and speed during combat equal to 6 plus 20% of units of res at the start of combat, so lots of potential stat debuffs. And also if unit's HP is greater than 1, so he has the miracle effect as well in the weapon. So pretty solid weapon, gives support, lots of effects, and also miracle that can help him for sure survive. You know, especially as a dancer that isn't really supposed to take hits, the miracle can be very nifty. Play is a special, of course, as a bard, and then he has attack res cantrip 3. And then we also have Infantry No Follow 4, which is perfect for a dancer like him. That is amazing support for the teleportation, and of course the no follow-up. So that is Elffin. Pretty solid. He's not like the best dancer ever, I'd say, but he's definitely more unique than, you know, if they just put him as a demote. So I'm glad they didn't put him as a demote. They easily could have done that and made him a dancer that's never going to get a refine or something. So I'm glad Elffin got, you know, the 5-star treatment, and here he is taking on a thief. I mean, this thief's very weak, but he's going to survive the Glacies, because Glacies still is going to deal a lot of damage, and then he can retaliate. So Elffin, definitely one of the cooler dancers, or should I say bards, refreshers. Next we have Ogier, Auster's new blade. He is one of the mercs that you get early on in Fire Emblem 6, and he has that blue hair. I like his art, solid. He's a sword infantry unit, of course, and that is the most competitive class type, but he is the, looks like he's a demon, I think, because he comes with Doubler Sword, which is pretty much the pumpkin, what is it called? Halloween Kellum's weapon. I'm pretty sure this is just the exact same thing, just the regular pool version. So bonus upper 4 weapon with attack defense buff within, you know, 2 allies in 2 spaces is nice. So you can stack this with other bonus doubler stuff, so that can be fun. Luna is a special, speed res ideal, and close call 3. So close call 3 is going to be amazing to get close call 4, even though, you know, tier 4 dodge skills aren't as useful as they used to be. It can be nice to have. So that is Ogier. Looks like he's the demote. He's going to be added into the regular pool, I suppose, so that's cool. Definitely dope, because again, they could have easily made Elffin the demote, and it would have been much worse for him as a dancer. And then now we have the rearmed hero. So there are 2 on this banner. The first one is, of course, Lilina. So I'm a bit disappointed. I love Lilina, and I love the artist here. I think it's Hakan. I recognize the art style. Yeah, Hakan. So Lilina, I love her. She's cute. She looks great as usual, but really wish it was Ascended Karel or something. I was expecting an Ascended hero, because we just had a rearmed hero, but it's Lilina as a green tome infantry unit. So hopefully one day Karel will get an alt, you know, a Sword Saint Karel. That would be epic, because it's fitting, of course, and Karel still has no alts. And, you know, if his niece can get an Ascended version, Karel should definitely get one. But anyways, let me stop talking about Karel. So Lilina's here. Predictable choice. She's one of the lead units. I get it. She's popular. Not complaining. I like Lilina, but still wish it was Karel. But she's a green tome infantry, like I said, and she comes with Arcane Truthfire, which is a pretty awesome green tome, way better than Arcane Caliburnus, I'd say, because it's actually pretty stacked. And here she is nuking with AoEs, because Lilina is always doing that. Arcane Truthfire, -1 cooldown to start of turn. If you're alive, you can attack +6, and the falling status, so the orders buff, kind of similar to what a Toon Seeda can do, so that is nice. And then this unit initiates combat with, you know, if she's alive, unit has an AoE special equipped, grants special cooldown count -1 to unit before special triggers before combat. So this can help you obviously trigger Gift of Magic. At start of combat, if she's alive, grants bonus to all the stats equal to 25% of the foe's attack at the start of combat. -4, minimum 5, maximum 14. So, you know, the max 14, we've seen that a lot lately. Deals true damage, 15% of her attack, including dealing damage with an AoE. That's nice because, you know, that's not always going to be calculated with AoEs a lot of the time with these weapons, but for Lilina, of course, because she's always nuking with AoEs. And then also reduces damage from foes first attack by 7 during combat. So similar to Arcane Blood Gang we just had on Rearmed Lilina, where you have that 7 flat DR on the first hit, so that's cool. And it's going to help her survive even if they do survive her nuke. And this includes the brave hits, and then also grants special cooldown count -1 to unit before unit's first attack during combat. So you get basically -2 cooldown count jump, it looks like. I think, or am I doing the math wrong? I don't know, because you already have -1 cooldown. I guess this is just very useful against Scowl effects, which I feel like Scowl is still good, of course, but there's just so much special jumping now that Scowl there needs to be more Scowl stuff because there's so much special jumping now, but maybe that's just me. But yeah, Gift of Magic is your special. Before combat, this unit initiates foes in an area near target take damage equal to unit's attack minus foes defense or res. Has the Hardy Bearing built in, which is very nice. She's had this in her Legendary and her Brile version, I believe. So that's kind of another signature for Lilina, because there isn't that many weapons in the game that have Hardy Bearing, so that's pretty cool. You can shut down Vantage, Desperation, stuff like that. And then if unit special triggered before combat, reduces the percentage, so you have damage reduction halving. And then also if unit or foe special is ready or triggered before during combat, you reduce damage from the foe's next attack by 40%. So you have even more damage reduction that's flat on top of the 7 that you get in the weapon. So that's going to help her longevity. So I don't remember if this is how this compares to Lilina's remix special, Legend of Lilina's. I'd have to check, but I don't think Lilina's special had DR in it. I don't think. Let me just check real quick if I can. On Lilina's weapon, Gifted Magic 2. Yeah, Gifted Magic 2 obviously had the AoE, but you also gave Canto, so that's something unique for Legend of Lilina. But this one's more damage reduction base and also has damage reduction piercing, which is cool. So combat wise it's better, but it doesn't have Canto. So that is that. So Gift of Magic, Gifted Magic, Gift for Magic, all the magic for Lilina. So there she is, rearmed. Actually, whoops, I completely forgot the rest of her passive skills, my bad. Sly Mirror is her A slot, which we saw Sly Sparrow on Ninja Tharja just recently, so that's the same thing just for res. So that's really helpful for her. Also, to get the guaranteed follow attack is nice for probably a slower mage. Occultist Strike, of course, nice to have when there isn't Breath of Life. And then Attack Res Ploy to have the, stop, bonus double and all that stuff, and make use of her high resistance. So pretty standard kit. Slight Mirror is cool. We got another one very fast, and there she is. So I like her outfit for sure. Like I said, I think she looks great, but I wish it was someone else that was a little bit more unique for Fire Emblem 6. But hey, Lilina makes total sense. And we're not done, because there's another rearmed hero who's also green. It is of course the Ruthless Jotun. I'm not even gonna say her name because I don't know how to say it with a lot of these OCs. But the gigantic buff Jotun lady with the Arcane Giant Axe. We fought her in the Tempest Trial. And she has one of the best arcane weapons, I'd say, because it has flat DR. So Arcane Giant Axe gives -1 cooldown, neutralizes panic at the start of player phase or enemy phase, and neutralizes penalties to attack and defense, so that's cool. And then if foe initiates combat, or if you're alive at the start of combat, you grant bonus to all your stats equal to 25% of foe's attack at the start of combat -4. Maximum 14, minimum 5, deals true damage, 15% of your attack, and then also reduces damage from foe's attack by 15% of unit's attack, which is definitely the best part of this weapon, because flat DR is invaluable, and that's going to help you tank so much better. And this weapon I can see being very useful for a lot of axe armors that don't have PRFs, or don't have, good or outdated PRFs, or Brave Ike, for example, because the previous 2 arcane axes were, you can use it on Brave Ike, but Irvon was still better, I'd say, because of all the DR. But now you get flat DR, so this weapon is arguably better than Brave Ike's PRF Refine. So that is cool. So Arcane Giant Axe, simple, but it's very useful for a lot of bulky, high attack axe armors and just axe units in general. You definitely want to have as much attack as possible to make use of these effects, so don't really want to give it to someone who has low attack, but you can still do it for them for sure if you invest into them. Armored Blaze is her special to get more flat DR and make use of her defense. Earthfire Boost 3, we've seen that before, of course, which is useful for the guard effect. And then we have Brutal Ferocity, which was not in the Tempest Trial, so this is new. Effect Pathfinder, okay, so just like what Dagger does. At our turn, and after unit acts, if Kanto triggers after Kanto, inflicts attack defense -7 and gravity on foes in cardinal directions of unit with HP less than unit's max HP through their next action. So she's like, she's kind of like a walking tactics room, kind of, with the gravity. You just have to have more HP. I mean, what am I saying? That's what tactics room does. So she's kind of like a tactics room unit. That's kind of interesting. And also inflicts the debuff on them and Pathfinder. And then if foe initiates combat, or if units HP, or if they're alive at the start of combat, inflicts penalty on the foe's attack defense equal to 5, plus units max HP minus the foe's HP at the start. So she's going to have massive HP. Definitely some of the highest in the game, just judging by how much HP conditions are here. So max HP minus the foe's HP at the start of combat, minimum 8, maximum 18. That's gigantic. The unit makes a guaranteed follow attack, has null guard, and also has the DR halving in the weapon, or in the B slot, excluding AoEs. So that is a very good B slot for the more, better combat with null guard, DR pierce, more stats, but also the unique, gravity tactics room kind of thing that's based on your HP. So definitely want to stack as much HP as possible. That's why she comes with Earth Fire boost. And then she comes with AD twin near save. We finally have, not finally, we just had tier 4 saves, and we didn't have the attack defense near save version. So that's cool. You can trigger Armored Blaze more than once. And also, have the ability to protect your allies. So that is rearmed big buff lady. Yeah, so there she is. I'm actually considering pulling on this banner because there's 2 green rearmed units. I mean, I don't even know if I want the axe or the tome, or probably the axe a little bit more. I can give it to Groom Marth, I suppose, but he also doesn't have the highest attack stat. But I definitely kind of want to get this arcane axe, maybe a couple copies if I get lucky enough to give to some of my units. And, with her support, she's definitely one of the more unique axe armors in the game, inflicting gravity on people. So that's cool. Next story chapter, we're going to see what the father, quote-unquote, is going to do. And then we have the GHB unit, which is Zeus, or Zeiss. I don't know how to say his name exactly. Zeus or Zeiss. I don't really say it that much, so I didn't really have a go-to way of saying his name. But he is Milady's little brother. From Fire Emblem 6, obviously, so hopefully he's good. He's gonna be a Lance Flyer, obviously, so hopefully he has a good PRF at the very least. Hopefully they don't do him like Heath or something, or the many Lance Flyers that don't have PRFs, but either way, it's cool to see Z-Man here. So that is the Fire Emblem 6 banner, the Binding Blade banner. Jeez, dude, she's gigantic. Her boobs are bigger than Lilina's head. I know, maybe not, but it's just the positioning of the art here is really crazy. But yeah, she's gigantic. Obviously, she's a Jotun, but yeah, I like this banner overall. Besides Lilina, it's actually pretty solid. Elffin and Ogier are both dudes. I mean, there's 2 girls on the banner, obviously, but we have Zeus as the GHB, who's another dude. And they didn't make Elffin demotes, so I really appreciate that. He's a nice dancer. And the 2 green units can be really nice because rearmed heroes, obviously some of the most valuable units in the game, being able to not only give those rearmed weapons, but also duplicate skills, which is amazing. So I might pull in this banner myself. So good luck if you guys are summoning, and please stay safe out there. Peace out.